Hello students, welcome to the class on pronouns. Let's start with the definition of pronoun. The word pronoun is derived from the root word Latin. The first word is pro, which means for, and the second word is nomen, which means noun. If you combine these two words, the result would be for noun. That means a word that replaces a noun is called a pronoun. Why do we use pronouns? We use pronouns to avoid repetition. An example could be when I say Ravi is my cousin and then he is in your English class. So what am I doing is I am replacing Ravi by a pronoun he. That means he is the pronoun and Ravi would be called as the antecedent of he. This word is going to be very important for us. The word antecedent. The word antecedent in itself is made up of ante, which means before, and cedo, which means go. A pronoun can refer to a person, place, thing or idea. Same definition goes with noun. So what have I done is, if I say a noun can refer to a person, place, thing or an idea, I have replaced the word noun with pronoun. Various types of pronouns can be listed as follows. Personal pronouns. Pronouns that are used to refer to people or things are called personal pronouns. Examples: he, she, it. Subject pronouns. A subject pronoun is used as the subject of a sentence. Remember, this is going to be really important for us. The subject is defined as either who or what the sentence is about. If I take up an example and I write she is my sister, and if I ask a question, who is your sister, you would reply it as she. So she becomes a subject pronoun. Same goes with sentences like it is my hat, does he have a dog, you and I go to the movie. Object pronouns. An object pronoun is a personal pronoun in the objective case. It is used as the direct or indirect object of a verb. Remember this very clearly, that object pronouns will never be the subject of the sentence. Example of this object pronoun: give the pencil to me. So me over here would become an object pronoun because me is receiving the action of giving. The teacher gave her a referral. Who gave her a referral? The teacher. So teacher will go on to become a subject. Who received the referral? Her. Then her would go on to become the object. Two more examples. I will tell you a secret and Hannah read it to them. So I will tell you a secret, you will become the object, Hannah read it to them, it and them will become the object pronouns. Here is the list of personal pronouns. As a mentor, I would expect you to memorize this list wholeheartedly. You should clearly remember what are subject pronouns and what are their singular and plural form. Same goes the case with object pronouns. You should clearly remember their singular case and their plural case. Now each personal pronoun can form three cases: subject, object and possessive. Here is the list of possessive pronouns. What I have done is I have given you two different ways to use possessive pronouns. The first one is used before nouns. So the singular form would be my, your, his, her and its. The plural form would be our, your and their. When I use them standalone, the singular form for the pronoun would be mine, yours, his, hers and its. So mine would be the first form, yours would be the second form, his, hers and its would be the third form. And the plural form would be ours, yours and theirs. In this slide, let's understand how do we differentiate between the three kind of pronouns. He read about Death Valley. Who read about Death Valley? The answer would be he. That means he will go on to become the subject. Julie asked him about the rocks. So Julie will become the subject. Who asked him? So him will become an object. The third sentence is Ramon bought his book. Whose book? His book. That means the book is being given a possession. That means his will go on to become the possessive pronoun. More to do with the kind of pronouns. There are 7 kinds of pronouns. Personal, which refer to persons, he, she. Reflexive, they refer back to the subject. Intensive, they emphasize the subject. Demonstrative, they point to with gesture. Indefinite, unsure, some, few are the kind of examples. Interrogative pronouns end up with question words. An example could be who. Relative pronouns are the pronouns that relate 2 sentences. An example could be which. So let's understand reflexive pronouns reflect back to the subject. The 4 sentences which you can see on the slide use reflexive pronoun. I saw myself. So this word myself is reflecting back to I. That means myself over here is a reflexive pronoun. Kim wrote a note to herself. So herself is reflecting back to Kim. That means herself is a reflexive pronoun for Kim. Dick shot himself on the foot. Himself is referring back to Dick. They served themselves last. Themselves is referring back to they. So himself and themselves in the 3rd sentence and the 4th sentence are reflexive pronouns. Intensive pronouns. I myself saw him. If you closely see, I could have written this statement as I saw him and it would have been grammatically correct. But when I write I myself saw him, what am I trying to do is I am trying to emphasize on the word and on the action that I was the one who saw him. That means myself is emphasizing on the action. That means myself is an intensive pronoun. Same goes with the 2 sentences. When I say she herself organized the concept, that means the word herself is emphasizing on the fact that she herself was the one who organized it. The president himself has denied the rumor. That means the president is emphasizing on denying the rumor. Demonstrative pronouns, as we discussed, they point out specific persons or things. I hate this. That means this is going to be a demonstrative pronoun. Did Megan give you that? That is again a demonstrative pronoun. She wants these. These is a demonstrative pronoun. Will you be using those? Those is a demonstrative pronoun. Indefinite pronoun. We read the examples of indefinite pronoun. Some like it hot, none wants it cold, all are happy, all are equal but some are more equal. And what I have done is I have underlined what are indefinite pronouns in these respective sentences. Here is a list of some indefinite pronouns, and what I have done is I have given both the singular form and the plural form. The list is not that important to be memorized, but in case if you can memorize a couple of singular forms and plural forms, that would do a lot good to you in your examination. Interrogative pronouns, they end with a question mark. What, whose, who, whom, when, where are the examples of interrogative pronouns. So interrogation is question. That's what all you need to remember when you want to memorize this definition. A relative pronoun, it's an important kind of pronoun. So relative pronoun relates to a preceding word, antecedent. We remember what is an antecedent, and joins it to a dependent clause. Let's see this example. There are 2 statements. One is she is a woman. The other sentence is she runs for mayor. Now if I want to combine these 2 sentences, I realize that the second sentence uses she, and this is being used for the woman which is used in the first sentence. What I will do is I will combine these 2 words with a relative pronoun which is who. The sentence will look like she is the woman who runs for mayor. Going to the second example, if you say you saw the house, full stop, it is historical landmark. If you closely see this word, it is referring to house, which is being used in the first sentence. Now if I want to combine the two sentences, what I would do is I'll rewrite this sentence as the house that you saw is a historical landmark. If you closely see, that word that is referring back to house and will be defined under the definition of relative pronoun. How do we use pronouns correctly? So there is a big confusion among students to find out when to use me or I, or when to use we or us. So what I'll do is I'll tell you a small rule, I'll tell you a small trick for this. Use a subject pronoun as a subject and use object pronoun as an object of the word. So examples could be, she owns a collection of books. He told her an amusing story, the fable entertained us. There's a small exercise. Please circle the correct pronoun listed over here. Remember these a couple of rules over here. When in a pair, suppose a pair is Susan and I, always take the pronoun out of the pair to see which pronoun is the correct one to use. Let's take a small example. Richard and I recited the story, or Richard and me. So it would be Richard and I. Jennifer helped Richard and me. Why? Because Jennifer over here is the subject, because the action of helping is being performed by Jennifer and the action of being helped is being performed on Richard and you. So what I would do is, for object we'll use me. When using a pronoun in a pair, always put the pronoun second. Example, Seth and I read some comics book. This is the correct way to write the sentence, and not I and Seth. Science interests Mike and me. You will not write this sentence as science interests me and Mike. In formal writing and speech, use a subject pronoun after a linking verb. The better way to write the sentence would be, the winner is she and not she is the winner. Remember, over here I am only and only talking about the formal writing pieces. Antecedent, we remember antecedent, the noun or group of words that a pronoun refers to. Tyler read The Hungry Caterpillar. He found it exciting. Now for antecedent of he, why am I using he? I am using he for Tyler. So antecedent of he would go on to become Tyler. And it is again second pronoun. Who am I using it for? I am using it for the hungry caterpillar. Remember, pronoun must agree with antecedent in number, singular or plural, and gender. The gender of a noun may be masculine, feminine, or neuter. Always and always remember, possessive pronouns do not contain an apostrophe. That means possessive its never splits, and it apostrophe s is very different from its. It apostrophe s is a contradiction for it is, and its is possessive. I have seen a lot of students making mistakes in these. Make sure you don't end up doing that. That summarizes the session for pronoun for us. Thank you very much.